All right, so hi everyone, all our new students, and my name is Bennett Whitmore. I'm the chair of the department and would like to welcome you to the semester at ESF. We're really happy to have you here. I think it's, a little obviously unusual that we're not here in person as much as we normally would be, but we do want you to know that we're going to be accessible. If you need us, just reach out to me or to your individual faculty members, because we do want to have that connection even though we're not physically going to be together as we normally would be. And I also wanted to mention that our main office is in 212 Baker Hall, and that's where our secretary Rebecca often will be. She's in most days. So if you have any concerns or you need any answers that you're having trouble getting, I would suggest that you go to Rebecca in person if you're on campus, and she will be able to guide you and set you in the right direction. But welcome, and I really look forward to meeting you when we're back on campus, and hopefully before we know it, we will be. So thank you. So do we want to go to maybe Mary Collins? I see you next, Mary.
Sure. Yeah. My name's Mary Collins, and welcome to ESF. This is going to be my end of my 6th year here, and I am, most of my teaching in this department is at the graduate level, but I am connected to the college's environmental health program, and I have 2 core classes that I teach for that program. One is EHS 250 and the second one is EHS 350. It's the first year series for either environmental health minors or majors. It's part of the Division of Environmental Science, and I always get a lot of ES students that take it. The main focus of the 2 classes, it's sort of a counterpart fall spring class. The first part is sort of an introduction to the field of environmental health, and we do explicitly focus on socio-environmental systems as a way that health disparities are produced. So I think that people in this department have gotten a lot out of it. And then the second semester is really about the environmental policies that govern the relationship between environmental hazards and health effects in people. And really, I guess the last thing I would say about these classes is that I do get a lot of ES students. And when I say environmental health, I mean human health endpoints mostly. So sometimes we do talk about environmental quality, like lakes, rivers, stuff like that. But most of the time, it's really about human health endpoints. And we take a lot of time to think about issues of inequality and justice as well. I guess the only thing else I would say, and then I promise I'll stop here, is just that I run the Center for Environmental Medicine and Informatics, and I always have a few undergrads that are helping with sort of computational style projects. So if you're interested in data analysis or and those types of things, we have a team that is super fun, and we do a lot of secondary data work. And I do have a few undergrads that I've worked with, and one currently that works with us. So welcome.
Tina.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. So glad you're here. I'm Tina Limpert. I'm an assistant professor in environmental studies, and my work sort of generally looks at the gender dimensions of the environment, including film and popular culture. I'm also interested in the role of design and placemaking, and I teach courses. This semester I'm teaching Intro to Sociology, and a course that's for undergrads, and a course for graduate students called Intro to Qualitative Research. In the fall, I taught a course on eco-cinema and gender, culture, and the environment. So glad you're here. Have a great semester.
Jill.
Hi, and welcome to ESF. My name is Dr. Jill Weiss. I'm in environmental studies here. I don't know what year this is for me, 3rd, 4th? I study collaboration and behaviors in socio-ecological systems like conservation networks. I'm interested in things like trust and intent and stuff like that. Right now I'm studying hikers all over the Northeast, which has been kind of interesting. I teach a bunch of classes lately. In the fall, I teach EST 550, which is Environmental Impact Analysis. So it's a lower level graduate course, but many undergraduates who are in policy concentration will take it. I teach EST 353, which is Environment and Behavior Change, EST 604, which is a graduate course in survey design, and a new course, Assessment for Environmental Programming, and that is sort of a practical methods course for if you're interested in designing programs or running programs at an NGO and you need to assess it or create logic models for grant writing and stuff like that. That's the kind of stuff we'll cover there. I also work with undergraduates in my research lab, and that's been a lot of fun. And I'm working right now with Sherry Dan, who's on the screen somewhere, helping with developing more environmental education and interpretation classes. Thanks and welcome.
Thank you, Teresa.
Hi, everyone. I'm Teresa Salpa. I am a professor in environmental studies. I've been here, I think, now 11 years. And at the undergrad level in environmental studies, I teach a 300 level course, Social Dimensions, Social Processes in the Environment, which is being offered this spring. And my research looks at social dimensions of agriculture and the environment. I'm interested in how the public can engage in issues of ag biotechnology. And I do research internationally, especially in Latin America. So welcome.
Thank you. Josh?
Yep. Hi. Welcome. My name is Josh Cousins. I'm an assistant professor here in ESF. My research is broadly, focused on urban sustainability, urban planning. So I'm looking at, social, political, environmental issues in the city, but I'm also interested in a lot of the broader aspects of, resource policy and governance that connects our cities to rural places. So that's where a lot of my research and teaching takes place. In the fall, I teach 200 level class, Urban Ecology, and EST 426, Community Planning and Sustainability. In the winter, I teach Environmental and Energy Auditing, which is a split 427, 627, and grad seminar, Urbanization in the Environment. I'm open to working with students, and I hope to get to know all of you in the future.
Thank you, Josh. Erin?
Hi, my name is Erin Ticelli. I use she, her pronouns. I'm the academic advisor to the Environmental Studies Department. For transfer students, that's especially important to assess your transfer credits and make sure that you got all the credit that you earned at your previous institution that we can apply to your degree program. I also help folks navigate their degree programs, select classes, petition things, and connect you to resources across both our campus and Syracuse University's campus. Things like the Center for Disability Resources, academic success coaching, counseling services, whatever you need that you don't know you need, I can help you find it.
Thank you, Erin. Andrea?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to SUNY ESF. So my name is Andrea Felbosch Parker. I am an associate professor of science and environmental communication, and my focus is on environmental decision-making, environmental and natural resources, conflict management, as well as social environmental movements. And my most recent work is actually looking at the democratization, it's a harder word to say than to spell, of energy systems. So I am also the environmental studies undergraduate curriculum coordinator. So I'm probably, I would say Erin's probably the most important person that you'll be talking to first, and then maybe I come in second or third or down the line. But I am able to help you with any, petitions that you need signed, any paperwork that you need a signature on, any guidance that you need for navigating the environmental studies and as well as the environmental and the environmental education and interpretation programs. So I'm here for you if you need me. I also wanted to point out that we have the undergrad curriculum handbook. This handbook is going to be very important in helping you navigate your program. So please take a look at that, and we'll also reference it and help you out however you need. So in addition to being the curriculum coordinator, I also teach 2 undergraduate classes. Both of them occur in spring semester. And so I'll have some of you early on in your program and some of you hopefully later on. So the first class is EST 255, and that's research methods in environmental studies. I promise I try to make the class much more exciting than the title sounds. I also teach EST 493, which is Environmental Communication Workshop. This is a class that is required for students in the Environment, Communication, and Society option area, but obviously the other 2 option areas, it's open to you as well. So hopefully I will see you early and later in your undergraduate program here at ESF. And I look forward to meeting you all virtually and at some point in the future in person.
Thanks, Andrea. Lemire?
Good morning, good afternoon, folks. I am Lemire Tehran. Welcome to ESF. Welcome to Syracuse or wherever in the world you are logging on. I will be teaching every single one of you in the intro class. You won't be taking that until the fall time. And it's a really cool class because we do get out into the world in urban settings and, when appropriate, in some not so urban settings. And if you're interested in issues of inequality, this semester I'll be teaching an environmental justice course, which may not necessarily be ready for where you're at in your trajectory at this point, but keep that in the back of your mind, and I'll definitely see you once, if not twice, during your careers here. Good fortunes.
Thanks, Lemire. Elizabeth?
Hey everybody, welcome to ESF. Glad you're here. My name is Elizabeth Bidon. I'm an assistant professor here in the Department of Environmental Studies. And like Marianne, in my 6th year here in environmental studies. My work deals in the arena of nature-based tourism and engagements with natural and wild spaces. And like Dr. Felpash Parker, I also work in sort of the democratization of these spaces recently. And so how do we sort of facilitate engagements with, or what people might call authentic engagements with natural and wild spaces, both in sort of what we think of as like kind of capital N natures and in small N natures. And so my work kind of sits at the intersection of kind of social governance issues, but also in kind of like existential or emotional psychoanalytic theory. So my course offerings, I teach 2 undergraduate classes and 2 graduate classes. My undergrad offerings are EST 140, which is the Introduction to Native Peoples, Lands, and Cultures, and EST 366, Attitudes, Values, and the Environment. The 366 class is offered in the fall. The Native Peoples, Lands, and Cultures class is offered in the spring. I also teach 2 graduate classes, EST 624, that's Nature, Recreation, and Society, and EST 650, Environmental Perception and Human Behavior. So I look forward to seeing some or all of you. Take care.
Great, Elizabeth. Thanks. Celia?
Hi everyone, welcome to ESF. My name is Silje Christiansen. I am assistant professor in the Department of Environmental Studies. I've been here since the fall 2018. I'm a communication scholar by training. That means that I often look at public communication, for example, how the mass media portrays different issues that have to do with the environment, with risks, or with science. Given that the mass media is oftentimes a very important, sometimes the only information source. So how the mass media choose to portray issues might have an influence on people's perception perception and willingness to act on these issues. And 2 graduate courses. The course that I teach in the spring on undergrad level is 395, Public Communication of Science and Technology. In the fall, I teach EST 245, which is Foundations of Environmental Communication. And the graduate courses that I teach is 606, has a very long name, Public Perception and Communication of the Environment, Science and Risk. And in the fall, I teach the graduate course 645, Mass Media and Environmental Affairs. I love to do research with students. So if you are interested in conducting your own research project, please come to my classes, especially the grad courses when you're that far. I hope you will still be here then. But also some undergrad students have taken these classes as their senior synthesis. So that might be a possibility going forward. I'm looking forward to meeting you. Take care.
Thank you, Celia. Sharon?
Welcome, everyone. Hello from Syracuse, New York. We hope to see you here in this place at some point in time in the not too distant future. So we're located here on unceded land from Haudenosaunee communities. My research is focused mainly on human dimensions of water issues. So I'm super interested in problems with the science and technology and why it's not really delivering on all of its promise. I'm trained as a geographer, and I teach classes mainly on environmental policy and mostly to graduate students. So my undergrad class that's starting up in just a week, I know Riley Becker is going to be in it, is called Government and the Environment. And we go through major environmental statutes, talk about where they're from, what they do and don't do, how they change, and what impact they have in the world. And I also teach a new undergrad class called Diversity and Knowledge of the Environment. And we focus on ways that marginalized communities and knowledge flows that are connected with those populations have and haven't been embraced by mainstream society and also by government structures. So I hope to meet some of you in the near future, and that's it.
Thank you, Sharon. And Sherry?
Hello, everyone. It's nice to be able to be together here. I hope wherever you are, if you're in Syracuse or if you're along the East Coast, that you're enjoying this snowstorm that we're about to get and they get a little chance to play outdoors. A little bit about myself. My name is Sherry Dan. I am also joining ESF, the newest member of this department as of fall. So I also joined during pandemic times. So if you want to talk to me about that, feel free to look me up. My area of interest is environmental education and interpretation. And I teach 2 courses in the fall, will be this coming fall. The first course that you might want to take in this sequence is called Personal Environmental Education and Interpretation. And then that leads into a spring course that I teach, which is non-personal, the media-based types of communication within the realm of environmental education and interpretation. So the signage and brochures and writing for social media and a number of other areas. And the other spring course that would follow in this sequence is advanced interpretation and environmental education, where you can get your certification to become a certified interpretive guide. In the fall, a new course that I'm developing is yet to be determined. It's a course in science education. And so as you can tell from the courses, my interests are in this realm. I invite you to any of my courses, whether you're an environmental ed and interpretation major or not. And also to take Jill's course that's a part of this sequence as well. I study things like sense of place in relation to learning about ecosystems and in relation to stewardship of those ecosystems. So what are the pathways through education systems, either formal systems like K-12 systems or non-formal education sites like nature centers or camps or historic sites, you name it, zoos, nonprofit organizations that are very active in terms of environmental education and interpretation. And I'm interested in the intersection of how those programs develops a place, sense of personal identity, as well as the learning process for the environmental studies and issues that we have to address collectively. I also would invite you, some of my colleagues are at the Adirondack Interpretive Center. So I hope you have a chance through some of your coursework or just for a fun trip to trek up to our facility there up in the Adirondacks in the High Peaks region. So I invite you to the classes and I hope you enjoy this wonderful snowy day. I am serving as the coordinator for the environmental ed and interpretation major. So feel free to reach out to me. This is something new in our department. There are several of us that can help with that major. Erin, Andrea, Bennett, many of us can help you navigate through this. It's new to our department and we are arms wide open for anybody that wants to take that pathway. Thank you.
All right, well, thank you, everyone. And again, we look forward to meeting you in person when we can. But meanwhile, don't hesitate to reach out and have a really wonderful semester. So bye.
Bye.
Y'all, see you soon.